Share via email. Report story. By Sashin08. It was started the week after Valentine's Day as Class 1A spent their time together before the White Day starts. White Day is celebrated every March 14th, but the heroes are concentrated on their second term final exams. During White Day, boys who received chocolate as a gift from a girl before or during Valentine's Day should ideally reciprocate by giving them the white chocolate. As a sign of friendship, the boys from classes 1A and B decided to give white chocolates or precious gifts to girls after their final exams. Some students from class 1A were busy training to come up with their new fighting style techniques, while other students such as Izuku, Shoto, Katsuki, Tsuyu, and Ochako were busy with their work studies. Izuku is going to be a little late for the morning class. He walked as fast as he could to reach the classroom before Aizawa. As he reached the door just in time, he heard the chatter from his classmates confirming that the class had not started yet. He sighed a relief, but Tenya told him that he should come early. Gomen, Iida-kun, he apologized and walked through his seat. Before class started, Aizawa called Tsuyu and Ochako to chat privately with Principal Nezu and another student from the different class departments. When Tsuyu and Ochako arrived, his green eyes fixated on Ochako. His heartbeat skipped a beat and his face flushed red when he recalls how Ochako gave him a gift wrapped in simple, plain blue and yellow glossy typed paper with baby pink ribbon. He thought it was Jiri, Choco obligation chocolates, but he realized it was Hamai, love chocolates. It was his first time to receive a Hamai, Choco from a girl. Not only just a girl but his best friend. He usually bought Jabun Choco, gift for self, and a special Choco for his mother, but receiving a Hamai Choco from a girl he liked was wonderful. He heard from Tenya that boys who received Hamai Choco should give also more expensive gifts. If the gift was to be of equal value, this would mean that the guy doesn't reciprocate the feelings of the girl. It's absurd if you ask me. I'd rather receive Jiri Chacos from our friends than Hamai Chacos from an unknown person, Tenya said as he ate all the Jiri Chaco made from Class 1A. While Tenya and Izuku bought lots of Jiri chocolates for their classmates, Izuku has an idea of what to buy for Ochako. He bought a beautiful hairpin with pink and green hearts. He wrapped his gift together with his special milk chocolate mochi, and on the following day, he immediately gave it to her secretly. He didn't confess his love, but he vowed that on White Day, he will give her an answer. The idea of confessing to Ochako was, if he was being honest, absolutely nerve-wracking. He was a quite geeky and absolute stuttering mess before he enters UA. Being an introvert, he finds it difficult to communicate with girls, especially Uraraka, the first person who speaks with him before the entrance exam. To be certain, he was still a timid guy, but he got along with his classmates and attended their various hero or non-hero events, sleepovers, and occasional group outings with gratefulness and excitement. Things were a little better between him and his childhood friend, Katsuki Bakugo. When they entered UA, they didn't chat idly or hang out outside of the function of training, but now, they sparred, worked together as a team, and even sometimes jogged together, and they could communicate with each other during training exercises with all might. The loud ring of the bell made everyone in the class jolt, but immediately everyone stood up and grabbed their bags, and found their small group before leaving the classroom. The last one left was Ochako. She was just scribbling down the class record and other notes from the board before she scrambled to get everything in her bag, shoving her pencil case into her pink backpack before running off to find Aizawa-sensei. Ochako still wears her favorite hairpin that Izuku gave her. Promoted stories. You'll also like. After all, Fluke 11.3K 802. Will edit once I'm free. N. This is a work of fiction, and any similarity with other works is purely coincidental. Excuse grammatical errors and misspellings, Eng. Mirko X Shy Male Reader 165K 1.1 Key. don't own MHA. I hope you enjoy the story I made. Finished. 8.3K 508 tilde. He save all of them, just a smile plastered on his face before disappearing through the wind. Hurt cuz I love you to death Izuocha. Ha. 8.6K 141 Class 1A is now Class 2A and is working to be better heroes due to events that had happened before. Deku has gotten strong feelings toward Uraraka during the summer as free. Only shots 149K3K. This is a collections of free X readers. Requests on this are now closed. The heroes return MHAXJJK, ongoing 113K 1.7K and quad, Izuku. Midoriya, after being betrayed and killed, vanishes leaving hurt people behind. After 2 months in a hack, he come back, changed. How will the class re? Convicted Hearts 3390 like my other story but ILI longer. While Izuku walked and chatted with Shoto and Bakugo heading the dorms to get their things for their hero work studies. Last year, Shoto convinced them Bakugo and Izuku to join him for hero work study at his father's agency. Since both of them lost their mentors Best Jeanist and Sir Night-Eye, they decided to accept his offer. Izuku was delighted to become one of Endeavor's trainees as he is going to practice his new quirk called the Black Whip, while Bakugo develops a new fighting style technique using his AP shot. Izuku and his team were assigned to patrol the city, near the Cider House. They received a report saying that villains traded drugs and attacked civilians while taking advantage of the fact that on a weekend where there are no heroes on patrol. When Bakugo excused himself to have a personal chat with one of Endeavor's assistants named Anima, Izuku decided to open up his problem with Shoto. After all, they were close. Hey Todoroki-kun, Izuku began slowly, do you think Uraraka likes me? I mean, L like would, she have a crush on me? He asked jittery, blushing slightly as he looked up at his friend. Shoto blinked and asked, why do you say that? Well, Izuku said while scratching at the back of his head. I received a Hamai Chako from Uraraka-san and I don't know if she likes me or what. Sorry, I don't know about Hamai, love, and stuff, Midoriya. Shoto replied while glancing at Izuku. Izuku frowned. What do you expect, Izuku? Shoto does not know about love and courtships, especially Hamai, Izuku thought while his eyes stared at the ground. Shoto has zero experience when it comes to love. Before Izuku met him at Ua, Shoto was cold, serious but aloof. He witnessed how his number one hero father abuses his mother. He stayed focused and preferred to keep it to himself rather than hanging with his classmates or friends. But now, Shoto became more sociable and kind towards his classmates, including Bakugo. He and Midoriya became close friends. Sometimes he became quiet when he mentioned his father. Oh, Izuku said, but it seems that you and Uraraka have a rather strong friendship. I am not quite sure that Uraraka is the type of girl to pursue a relationship with her best friend, especially when her goal is to become a hero. Shoto said, you're probably right. Izuku sighed, looking forward again as his mind continued to linger on the girl he had previously mentioned. That's right. Uraraka's main drive is to become a hero for the sake of her parents. She desires to save money to give her parents a comfortable life so she has no time for romance. But, Izuku fell in love with her, so he hoped she had the same feeling for him. The more he thought about it, the less likely it seemed. He let out a long quiet sigh, catching Shoto's attention rather quickly. Don't get depressed over it, Midoriya, he said, showing his smile. At least you two are great friends. Izuku couldn't help but chuckle. Yeah, at least. Dash 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 dot. Later that afternoon, Izuku, Bakugo, and Shoto took their suitcases and went straight to the Endeavor's black sedan where his assistant named Kamiji, aka Burning, waited for them. Without her hero costume, Kamiji looks so cute in her civilian clothes. She is very enthusiastic and likes to clash with Bakugo. It's a good thing that Kamiji isn't a Tsunader type, unlike Bakugo's mom. Stop muttering, Katsuki, and get your ass here. TCH, that woman. Katsuki scowled and felt annoyed at how she treated him. Shoto and Midoriya followed behind Katsuki. Does he need to act like a Pomeranian? Shoto asked and Midoriya chuckled. Ha, you say something half and half bastard. Bakugo yelled as he shows them his hand with dark smoke and flames. Shoto shook his head and kept his mouth shut while Midoriya covered his mouth. He's trying not to laugh in front of Kachan. Suddenly, Izuku found Uraraka talking, smiling, and walking along with a good-looking male student. The guy has straight long white hair, blue eyes, and seems taller than him. Who's that guy? He thought while staring at Ochako, who shows off her gorgeous smile towards the guy. When the guy smiled back at Uraraka, Izuku groaned. He felt his chest becomes heavy and his legs seemed to become like rubber. He felt annoyed when Uraraka didn't see him coming out of the building or riding inside the sedan. Her sparkled brown eyes focused seriously on a white-haired guy. Midoriya, is there something wrong? Shoto noticed while staring closely at Izuku's furrowed brows. Be Betsuni and nothing. Izuku replied sadly. He tried to hide his feelings so Shoto won't notice. Izuku didn't glance back after they left. It has been 3 days since the day Ochako seeing with the other guy. After classes, he went straight to Endeavor's agency so he could concentrate on his hero work studies and practice his black whip. Whip. Shoto notices Izuku's odd behavior as he ignores Uraraka before class starts. He even joined with him, Tenya and Mineta during lunch break. Uraraka tried to greet Midoriya but Izuku didn't say anything as he proceeded to his desk. She was dumbfounded and confused. She didn't know why and what had happened to Izuku. Uraraka approached his desk and said, Gomen. After that, Ochako walked straight towards her desk. Izuku didn't know what to say or react to. He tried not to glance over her, after all he was still in deep pain. In Heroics 101 class Izawa mentioned combat training. Today will be combat training. Learn to utilize your quirks to overcome the obstacles I have prepared for you here in the training area. Rules apply just like in the entrance exam, except for this time you will be in pairs of 2, Izawa explained. Sensei, are we gonna pick who we want to pair up with? Am I right, Sensei? Kaminari asked happily. He wanted to pair with Yaoyorozu or Jiro. Oh no, I'll pick randomly. EHHHHHH. Everyone said in disbelief. Aizawa started to call the names of the students. Yaoyorozu and Jiro, Kirishima and Shoji, Mineta and Koda, Shoto and Tenya, Midoriya and Uraraka. Oh no, I'm being paired with Uraraka-san, Izuku thought, showing his slight frown. This is the worst thing that could have happened. Deku-kun. Izuku turned his face on the right side and saw Ochako standing beside him. He could feel his heartbeats fast as Ochako walked slowly closer to him. Deku-kun, have I done something wrong to make you angry? Ochako asked in a soft, low voice. Izuku didn't reply. The brunette noticed his action and was worried. Ochako didn't know what to do to make him smile again, so she rose both hands and cheered with her sweet but fake smile. Ganbaro, Deku-kun, let's do our best, Deku-kun, Uraraka said sadly as she walks back away from Izuku. Izuku, being sensitive guy, lowered his head as he began to tear up. Quickly, he wiped his tears and mumbled, "You too, Uraraka-san." D Deku-kun, Ochako surprised. Izuku turned around and faced Ochako with his fake smile. Gomen that I ignored you, let's do our best also, Izuku replied. Izuku turned around quickly, but she could tell that he was hiding his tears. Ochako and Midoriya didn't talk to each other after heroic class. Dash 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 dot. It's nighttime and the boys Izuku, Shoto, and Bakugo are still out for duty. Check out the bridge, Midoriya, he uttered into the phone. Bakugo and I will split up and check out the stations. Got it, the green-haired lad replied as he stepped to the side a bit, eyes lingering on the next location. I'm a few steps away, so I'll see if there's anything. I'll give you a call if he turns up. Okay, be careful out there, Midoriya, Shoto replied while Izuku hung up the phone without looking and stuffed his phone into his back pocket. Midoriya wandered around to look where the disturbances came from. If experience had taught him anything, he knew that it's always best to wear a disguise as per request by Endeavor before heading to a drug deal. He wore a green jacket with a hood, black pants, and his favorite red rubber shoes. Izuku, Shoto, and Bakugo were assigned by Endeavor to check out various locations where an infamous Yakuza gang was dealing with their drug exchange. It has been months since he, Mirio, and other pro heroes successfully rescued Eri from the hands of Overhaul. Hawks works with Endeavor and his team to contribute his knowledge on gang raids and their functions gathered from his investigation. It lifted Izuku's spirits to showcase his new developing quirk. He had mastered the black whip, but he hoped that his quirk would last more than 5 minutes. Pulling down his hood and wearing shades, Izuku slogged through the busy, wet streets of Kamino and stopped at the west side of the bridge. According to Hawks, the members of the Yakuza would usually send a young guy whose isn't anything conspicuous to do the trade. The optimal time should be around 9 o'clock when everyone's rushing back home from work. Izuku lifted his arm to glance at his bulky sports watch at 8:30 p.m. It reads, meaning anything could happen within the next hour. While waiting to show up on the bridge, he remembers how guilty and pathetic he was when he tried to avoid Uraraka in the class. She was disturbed and confused when he ignores her several times. She tried to greet him again, but he still showed her his fake smile. He tried not to stare at her brown eyes longer. For him, her eyes have already belonged to somebody else. He regretted not being able to confess his love during Valentine's Day. He hoped that the hairpin was still with her even after seeing somebody else. For him, her hairpin is marked as a symbol of their love and friendship. Completely unlike himself in those weeks when he was having trouble keeping his attention focused on the lecture, it was not like he found the subject boring or anything like that. The lesson could have been about how All Might had made a miraculous recovery and was coming back to heroics, but his mind was lost somewhere else. There are many fishes in the sea, Midoriya. You might find a girl somewhere just like her, Shoto said while rubbing his Izuku's back. Izuku cried inside the changing room. Deep down, he was heartbroken when he saw Uraraka talking and walking with a guy several times, even after classes and hero work studies. Iida-kun is right, I can't fall in love with my best friend. So stop with the self-loathing, you're better than this, he thought while wiping his tears quickly with tissues. All this was forced to start thinking about a subject that he always considered beyond his reach, making him realize that his feelings for Ochako were not as platonic as he pretended. In reality, he was always aware that they felt different about her. ever since meeting her that fateful day of the entrance test until the time she helped and protected him from harm when his new quirk went out chaos. It was different. He never dwelled on those feelings. His focus was constantly on becoming a hero worthy of All Might's legacy. Besides, he never considered himself as any kind of boyfriend material. He was still surprised that he had managed to make such a close bond of friendship with people like Iida, Todoroki, Shoto, Aoyama, and Uraraka. He may have to rethink just what that last bond meant for him. As he watched the people passing by, he knew his career was not all glorious even for an optimistic guy like him, and finding work and study life balance were challenging. He just wanted to be the greatest hero just like All Might. That's all. At the corner of his eye, a brown-haired, slender girl wearing a yellow off-the-shoulder dress appeared within his range of view and he turned his head slightly, still resting on his palm. He looked at the girl, round-eyed, brown bow-haired, and pink cheeks. It was Ochako Uraraka. She looked stunning in her yellow dress and she wasn't alone. Ryu-kun, Uraraka said, smiling and standing too close to the boy in front of her in Izuku's opinion. How've you been? Are they dating? Izuku thought while staring at the couple. Izuku groaned to himself, his eyes peeled at the pair a few meters away from him. Izuku noticed that her dress revealed her soft, fair skin and her ponytail showed off her smooth pinkish nape. He wished that he should be the one who dated Uraraka, and not a thin guy named Ryu. For him, the guy dressed up like an idiot bystander. Should I say hi? Izuku pondered but fought against it. He still had a big mission. This was not the time to be doing anything other than his duty as a hero. And so, he continued to observe from afar. Wait here, Uraraka-chan. I'll go get some tickets. I'll be right back, Ryu said and then walks away. Uraraka was stunning. He never knew that Ochako was gorgeous in civilian clothes. He wonders if she already courted other men or experienced with her first kiss. Izuku frowned while he remembers how he received a Hamai Chako from her that time and he didn't confess her. I think it's all my fault for not responding to her confession. She's already taken anyway, he thought. Suddenly to his surprise, he saw a familiar pink and green heart hairpin clipped on her brown hair. That pink and green heart hairpin from my milk chocolate mochi gift for her. Is this mean? He wondered. I bought the tickets, Ryu spoke as he stuck his hands in his jacket. See? He pulled out 2 pieces of tickets. Let's go watch that movie, Uraraka-chan. Izuku grunted. Ryu's presence was kind of cringe-worthy, and his ass was clearly asking for kicking. The hell she likes that guy. Come on, I looked way better than him with that kind of clothes he wears, he mumbled as he continued to stare towards the couple. Suddenly, to his right, a man holding a bouquet of red roses stopped right between Izuku and the couple, distracting the one-for-all hero from his pensive gaze. The green-haired lad turned around and took a few steps back, eyes still locked onto Ochako, and felt a vibration from his pocket. Hello. Izuku picked up his phone and began to talk softly. It's cool over here. How about you guys? Shoto's voice was stern. Nothing over here. It's gonna be at the bridge, Midoriya. Keep your eyes open. Hi. Izuku froze without warning and stared with his mouth wide open. Was Ryu holding onto Uraraka's waist? And she seems to be fine with it. Impeding himself from yelling right then, he noticed the two were positioned like peas in the pod. He exhaled to keep himself composed. It's fine. I think they're just dating. He tried to convince himself, yet he couldn't drag his focus away. Chatomat, Todoroki-kun. Wait a minute, Todoroki. Without letting go of the phone, his arms swung fervently back and forth as he pushed a stranger, who was receiving the bouquet from the previous man, away. He stomped right through that couple and pulled heavily on Ryu's jacket, receiving a stupefied look from the latter. The next sounds that came from Izuku's side of the phone to Shoto's cry of anguish. Midoriya, Nanaga Okatiru Nodasuka. What's happening? Shoto inquired as he felt himself sweating from the disturbance. Was Izuku engaging the Yakuza now? What are you doing to my Uraraka-san? Izuku yelled as bystanders formed a semi-circle to watch, pointing and whispering. Ochako innately grasped onto Izuku's arms, causing the lad to drop his phone. Deku-kun, what are you doing here? Let go of Ryu-kun now. Ochako yelled as she tried to push him away. Midoriya, could you still hear me? I'm heading over right now. Shoto was still yelling into the phone and Ochako's eyebrows looked as if they were knitted together in annoyance. With a quick push, Ryu pried himself out of Izuku's fierce restraint, the former taking the heated accusation in stride. There was something else Ryu seemed to be focused on at the moment, and as quick as a bullet, Ryu turned to face the other way. Izuku darted his eyes towards the same direction and realized that the couple that was beside them was now running off. The crowd seemed to be in a panic as the bridge began to rumble all of a sudden. Crap, Izuku muttered to himself, so it was them all along. Uraraka-chan. Ryu cried out, preparing his quirk. Stand in front of me, without my quirk we can't catch up to them. No, Uraraka-san, come behind me, I'll help Ryu. Izuku yelled, Deku-kun, but, I'll also protect you, so stay close to me. Izuku yelled as he showed off OFA full cowl mode. Ochako nodded quickly, holding and hugging Izuku in one swift movement as the concrete bridge swayed back and forth. This must be the villain's powers. Izuku knew he compromised their mission, and his heart paced, feeling as though a void had swallowed him whole. Ryu blew a small puff from his mouth and within seconds it grows larger into a giant tornado to stop the villains. Izuku saw it and then released his black whip to capture all the villains at once. Writhing their arms and legs, the villains' bouquets slipped out of their grasp, and soon, what was assumed to be bags of quirk-enhancing drugs floated out of the paper wrapping of the roses. As Izuku restrained them by his black whip, Ochako detained them with handcuffs, and within minutes a team of policemen came. Ochako shuffled and wiped the sweat off her forehead as Ryu and Midoriya stood side by side. Excellent job. Ryu lifted his hand with his thumbs up sign. Izuku's gaze fixated on her in disappointment. I'm so sorry. I ruined everything, especially your date. Izuku let out and Ochako stifled a giggle. I can't believe you thought we were dating. I've never seen you so irrational before, Ochako said with her cute smile as Ryu began to laugh as well. Izuku was surprised by what he just heard. You thought we were dating. What's going on? He confused. Deku-kun, I want you to meet Ryoko Tatsuma's little nephew Ryu. He and I were assigned by Detective Tsukauchi to undercover the drug trades. By the way, he's only 18. Ochako said while Izuku's eyes widened. Hey, correction please, Uraraka-chan. I'm now 17, and I have a girlfriend from Ketsubutsu Academy High School, he said with his cute angry pout. Wait a minute, Ketsubutsu. Do you mean your girlfriend is a classmate of Yoshindo? That means you're from, Izuku asked. You've got it. Before I transferred to Ua Academy, I used to study at Ketsubutsu before being transferred as per request by my aunt and Principal Nezu last month. When we heard the report from Hawk's agency, my aunt and Principal Nezu asked Tsuyu Asui and Ochako Uraraka to be my team. Tsuyu was assigned for the research while I and Uraraka-chan will be secret agents. Huh, Uraraka-san, that means. Izuku said still agape. I'd suggest you don't let your boss find out that your cover got blown because of jealousy though, Ryu said, looking at the embarrassed expression on Izuku's face. But don't worry, I won't tell Endeavor about this, he added. While Izuku keeps on muttering and mumbling, Ryu walked towards Uraraka and said, Uraraka-san, I'll give our report to my aunt as soon as possible. Thanks for everything, Ryu-kun, Ochako said with her sweet smile. Ryu smiled back and said, You know, I still have these tickets. Why don't we? Excuse me, let us handle this while your report should be submitted to Ryuko's agency immediately. Izuku stammered while showing his angry mode. Whoopsie, you're right. Here, Ryu handed Izuku his 2 tickets. Here are some tickets for both of you, Midoriya-kun. Uraraka-chan, I'll see you tomorrow in the agency, Ryu said, then he left towards the police officer. Wait, how? Did he know about my name? Did Shindo say something about me or? Izuku glanced back at Ochako while she waves goodbye happily to Ryu. After Ryu left, both of them remained silent. Izuku bowed down in front of Ochako. Gomen Nasai, Uraraka-san. I didn't know that I ruined everything. That's okay. Deku-kun, Ochako sighed while trying to lift his face towards her. Don't apologize, it's my fault also. I didn't tell you everything, especially about this case. Izuku and Ochako were locked as they stared at each other. Ochako flustered and then scratched her cheek gingerly. What was it that you said again? Something about me being yours. Izuku's face turned red as he remembers what he said to Ryu. What are you doing to my Uraraka-san? He said in low voice. Do you mean that? Is that your answer from Hamai? Ochako asked while staring at a cute flustered green-haired lad. His answer was just only silent. This is it, Izuku. Tell her about your feelings, Izuku thought as he lowered his head to hide his embarrassment. Ochako sighed and decided to walk away. Deku-kun, I'm happy that we finally talk with each other. If you don't feel the same, I think it's better for Uraraka-san, Izuku interrupted as he began to walk towards her. I like you. I always liked you. We've been friends for a while now and you are always there for me when I need help. Because of my jealousy I blew it up for these months. I didn't notice that you liked me as much as I liked you. Ryu was right. I was jealous of him. I should probably confess to you, but I am personally not ready for our relationship. You worked hard to be a hero because of your parents and for me. I worked hard so that I can be the greatest hero someday. From hero course, school work, and controlling my quirk. I have my head and time full. I don't think I will be able to give you any time properly spent myself in our relationship.
Ouch.
I don't want to do things half-assed because I like you and I don't want to lose you, Izuku said with a sad expression. Ochako's face turns red like a tomato. He expressed his most sincere and honest thoughts. Ochako held his hand and smiled. I like you too, Izuku-kun. You don't need to push yourself to act on your feelings. I'll wait for you and be patient. Whatever happens, I'll be there for you because I like you, Izuku-kun. She replied with a smile. Izuku was touched by Uraraka's words and surprised to hear that she used his first name. He wiped his tears and rose his hand like a handshake with a bow. Ochako Uraraka, Sukiat Kudasai, please go out with me, Izuku asked while his eyes shut. Ochako smiled. She touched and interlocked their fingers together. Hi, Yoroshiku Ongeshimasu, please take care of me. Izuku smiled back and asked, would you like to watch movies with me? Ochako giggled and said, hi, yes. She has finally confronted him about tonight for sure. Shoto and Bakugo finally catch up with them, but they saw Izuku and Uraraka staring at each other, smiling and holding their hands together. Finally, that damn nerd has finally found his soulmate. Oi. You too. Get a room. Upon hearing these embarrassing words, Izuku and Ochako got flustered. Let's go to the station. Bakugo, Shoto said while walking back to the station. Hey, did I tell you not to order me around? Bakugo yelled and followed. Congratulations, Midoriya, you have finally done it. Shoto smirked and walked away from the two, allowing them privacy. Where stories live. Discover now.